All right, guys, are you serious? Are you serious? We do have breaking news developing right now as we speak. The governor of New York, I repeat, the governor of New York, Governor Cuomo has deployed the National Guard. I repeat, the governor has deployed the National Guard to New Rochelle, New York. They're in Westchester County. He is establishing a containment center to stem the coronavirus. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo briefing the update on the spread of the COVID-19 or the coronavirus in New York State at the New York Police Academy in White Plains office there in the Bronx. Matter of fact, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has deployed the state National Guard to New Rochelle, a coronavirus hotspot just north of New York City. This is very unique. This is very unprecedented in the United States of America. We haven't seen anything like this anywhere. Think about it. New Rochelle has doubled the cases of New York City. It's true. It's a phenomenon, he says, and he told reporters at a press conference in Westchester County, where New Rochelle is located, currently has 108 cases of the coronavirus out of 173 confirmed infections in the state of New York. 108 of them are in New Rochelle there in Westchester County. Now, matter of fact, Governor Cuomo compared the number of cases in New York and Washington State, where the outbreak there was spread to at least 162 people, killing 22 mostly elderly residents, according to the Washington State Health Department across the United States. 25 people have died. I think that number is 26, but none in New York so far. A man in his 60s died from the coronavirus in Bergen County, New Jersey, according to the reports. There are 14 New Yorkers currently hospitalized with the coronavirus, adding most of the 14 are members of a very vulnerable community. I'm not sure what that means yet. Now, New York's National Guard troops have already been dispatched to Health Department command post in New Rochelle to assist with the outbreak, according to a slide he presented at the news briefing. We have moved from a containment strategy to a more of a mitigation strategy, said New York State Health Commissioner Dr. Howard Zucker. Now, Governor Cuomo stressed that the state isn't restricting people from leaving the area. You're not containing people. It's containing facilities. Somebody who lives in that containment area could be in this room today. There's nothing you can do about that, he said. But Cuomo did say schools in New Rochelle will be closed for at least 2 weeks, beginning Thursday, and they are adding a satellite testing facility within the containment area to test residents for the virus. Now, Northwell Health received the approval from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention last night to run an automated testing, according to Governor Cuomo. This will be a period of disruption for the local community. He said, I understand that. And it is the New York National Guard that he is releasing, not the United States troops. Okay, obviously he doesn't have jurisdiction over the United States Army. He is over the New York State National Guard. Now, troops means you will see armored vehicles and National Guard, New York State National Guardsmen in the streets. They're going to be monitoring, they're going to be managing traffic flow, they're going to be stopping people, they're going to be probably testing people for fever and coughs right on the road, okay? And even though he said you can't go nowhere, facts are you really aren't going to be going nowhere, okay? The facts are it is a containment strategy. Now, I've talked about this for 7 years. When Mike from around the world first came on my show, he said there's a day coming where a containment situation will be developed across America if there is a need for it in some type of a catastrophe, like a mega quake, or maybe a volcanic explosion, or a super volcano, or war, or an atomic bomb, or a nuclear attack, or there's a lot of different reasons. Massive hurricanes, I mean, who knows? But this is a situation developing now. Now, here's the deal about this. If you guys remember, I mean, it just sometimes the Holy Spirit just shows us and tells us things, and we just know it. And the Lord told me, he said, look, it's not going to be as bad as China or some of these other nations, but America will have pockets. It'll be in the West Coast and New York. And that's exactly what we're seeing. But it's also going to be scattered, sprinkled across the country. The bottom line is we need warm weather to hurry and get here to kind of shut down the spread of this thing. But at the same time, we've got to use common sense. Everybody's got to use common sense as this phenomenon begins to take place around the world, and of course also right here in the United States of America. I can tell you the number of cases. Again, if you're just joining me, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has deployed the New York State National Guard to New Rochelle, New York, which is in Westchester County, and he has set up a containment system in place. There's containment center to try to stem the coronavirus. But basically, he's putting the National Guardsmen on the streets in New Rochelle, New York, because out of the 173 cases of coronavirus in New York, 108 of them are in the town of New Rochelle, which is in the county of Westchester County. And that's even more people than Washington State. Now, 22 people have died in Washington State out of the 26 that have died across the nation. So it did start in the West Coast, as we said, and there is a pocket now in New York City. And we'll watch how this develops. But when you start talking about citizen containment, now you might say, Paul, are they over-exaggerating here? Because we're only talking about 173 cases and nobody has died out of 22 million people that live in that area. And that's a good point. Is the response way over the top compared to the threat? I mean, that's a great question, and I think people are very concerned about it. Can I just say, look, it's very, very nerve-wracking, to say the least, right now. Okay, I want to put a shout out right now, if I can, to as we're concerned about these things. I'll tell you what, I'll do that the next video. But right now, pray one for another. I'll be back with more information. It is developing quickly now. The vice president had just spoken. He's concerned, of course. The Corona task force have just met. He broke away. He's in charge of it, Vice President Mike Pence. And he was making a statement that the federal government and the state levels have got to work together. I'm not so sure if he meant that toward Governor Cuomo or if he's just saying in general. But that's where we're at. God bless all of you. Hang in there. And I've got a Patreon video coming out this afternoon that's shocking, that's going to help you. Well, it may be a new revelation from ancient documentation, or actually an ancient find, might help us understand more about Planet X. And I'll bring that out on Patreon within the hour. I'll be back with more updates on this YouTube channel. Are you serious? Are you serious?